Okay, welcome to English 143, week one. We've already talked a little bit about what's expected this week. I want to go into more detail, more granular detail now, particularly how to do this first essay. First essay is technically about your rhetorical situation. I'm going to explain more what that is by using the PowerPoint that accompanies the textbook. And I also want to point out that this is a tough week. Wednesday night, right? This is due to peer review. You need to have your textbook. You need to have read the first about 50 some odd pages of the textbook. You need to have looked at this PowerPoint. You need to have looked at this lectures. So if you can't get everything quite done by Wednesday night, I'm going to be a little lenient this week. Normally, I'm not very lenient at all. But this week, get your paper into peer review. Get your paper completed as much as possible. Get it into peer review as soon as you can, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night at the latest, okay? And then get your reviews done by Sunday night, and then get your revisions done by Sunday night. I can't let you be late beyond Sunday night, okay? Otherwise, you miss attendance. Okay, it's very, very important. So, to repeat, if you miss the Wednesday night deadline for peer review, this essay, because of textbook issues or you just can't get it all done, Thursday night or Friday night's okay. I will waive the late penalty for that. But you must get the reviews in. You must get your paper into peer review by Friday night at the latest. And then you must get your revisions done and all your own reviews done by Sunday night. Okay, so no, don't push back on that, please. Okay, so that said, let's talk this week about the rhetorical situation. What does rhetorical situation mean? And the entire goal here is to get you to think about your writing, all right, both writing for college, writing that you might do elsewhere. It's really common in the workplace as you move up into supervisory positions, which is what you want, okay, because that's where the pay is. You'll be doing some writing. You'll be doing reports. You'll be doing business plans. You'll be doing marketing plans, all kinds of things where you need to be thinking about your rhetorical situation. So that said, let's take a look at this. What is rhetoric, all right? Rhetoric is basically making an argument. And I used to teach a class called Everything's an Argument. And at first, students got confused because you think of an argument as a fight with your spouse, a fight with your significant other, that kind of thing. No. An argument is where you're presenting your view your view of the world to others through a specific genre of communication. Basically, you're arguing for a position. You're arguing for somebody to agree with you to do something you want them to do. That's what an argument is. It's not a fight. Okay. So that's rhetoric. So what are the components of the rhetorical situation? And this is what your first essay needs to encompass. Okay. So first of all, you're the author. You're the speaker. You're the one who's sending the message. Who are you? All right. So next, audience. The receiver. The audience must be paying attention. They must be there. And you need to be visualizing this audience because audiences are very specific. They're not real general. Okay. In this class, for example, you're writing one to me. Okay. I'm very, very well educated. You need to know who I am. All right. I'm very, very well educated. I'm very, very well traveled. I'm very, very experienced. All right. And I know how to grade writing. Okay. How to assess writing. Okay. The rest of the audience for peer review, you all are smart. You all are intelligent. That's why you're in college, right? You already bring specific worldviews to the class. So you are a smart, well-informed audience. Okay. You're not a second or third grade audience. Okay. So context is where are you? As the author, where are you in time and in space? The audience, where is the audience in time and in space? What is the context? Right now, our context is we're in the middle of a critical national election. That's our context, okay? The world is changing. We're in the middle of globalization. We're in the middle of a critical national election. And we're in the middle of a pandemic, which has affected everything about us, okay? Everything we're doing has been impacted by the COVID-19. Okay, purpose. Why are you communicating? Well, in this case, you're communicating because I want to see your writing. I want to see how well you write. Do you write with well-focused paragraphs? Do you express yourself? Do you use detail? Do you use specifics? Do you use examples? That's the hallmark of critical thinking. Are you able to critically approach any kind of assignment, writing anything critically with detailed specifics and examples? All right, so topic. What are you communicating about? In this case, you're communicating about yourself. The topic is you. And I'll get into that near the end of this lecture, okay? And then genre, way of communication, all right? So I think the next slide talks about genres. Well, let's go on. I'll tell you more about genres in a minute. So things for you to consider, you're bringing your own context, your own biases, your own points of view into this rhetoric, all right? You have beliefs and values already well established. You have experience, okay? Some of you have more experience than others. All of you will get a lot of experience eventually, okay? Ethos. Ethos is credibility. How credible are you? Well, you're fairly credible already because you're college students, okay? It means you've completed a lot of education to this point and you've qualified to move on. Okay, and then personal choices. What have you made good personal choices? Obviously you have because you're in college. Congratulations. Okay, so audience. You need to think about your audience. I've already said this. What is the audience value? Well, we all value education. That's why we're here. We all value critical thinking, even I'm not sure what it is yet. Okay, but that's why we're here. Does your message make sense? Can they understand it? Does your audience have a reason to trust what you say? Well, later on when we do research, your audience is going to have more and more of a reason to trust what you say if your research is valid. Okay, and then how about length, tone, and content? Well, let's say this. Tone. It's okay in this particular essay. I expect you to use I. It's okay to use I. There's nothing wrong with the word I. Okay. What happens though is you tend to use it too much sometimes, and people don't just want to read your diary. All right. They want to see specifics and examples. Okay. Let's move on. It's purpose. So we always have to think about our purpose in writing. And sometimes the textbooks and these slides make it sound as if there are all these separate purposes. They're not. There's all everything. Everything's along a continuum. There's no black, there's no white, there's all the colors in between or grays in between, whatever. Okay. So you're trying to persuade, yes. Are you trying to inform? Yes. You're trying to inform your audience about yourself, right? Analyzing, are you looking closely at something? In this case, you're looking closely at the situation that you're in right now that you want to write about. Are you trying to be entertaining? I don't know about that. Okay. Describe. You always have to describe. You don't have to use big fancy words, but you have to use detail and specifics. That's what description is. Okay. And are you asking for something? Not in this case. All right. Whoops. Okay, so next slide. Different types of genre. I think I moved on. Sorry. Purpose. Okay. Topic. What are you trying to communicate? In this case, this essay that you're writing, you're trying to communicate to the audience, and I'm going to talk about two examples in a minute, okay? This kind of situation that you're in, that you feel you're personally in, okay? You need to pick a situation that you're in. It could be one you're in now. It could be in one you're previously. It could be travel-related experience, something like that. But you need to talk about how it related to you, how it related to your outlook on life, how it related to your position in life. And I'll give you some examples in a minute. So what are you trying to communicate? When you figure out your topic, don't forget to think about the best way to communicate to your audience given your specific purpose. Okay. Best way is lots of details, specifics, and examples. It's that simple. Okay. Details, specifics, and examples. So this is a neat word. It's a little bit like rhetoric. Okay, what's a rhetoric? Okay, what's a genre? A genre is everything from as simple as a shopping list, all right? We all make shopping lists, don't we? Okay, to a PowerPoint, websites, news articles, documentary TV, magazine article, newspaper article, books, all that kind of thing. Right now, this is a genre. I'm speaking to you through a genre. It's a PowerPoint and as well as a Camtasia video, okay? So, other things to think about is there's this thing called this rhetorical triangle, okay? And it's kind of neat, and it's sort of the heart of writing, all right? You have ethos is the author. Can the audience trust you? You have logos. These are all Greek terms. Are you consistent? Is your logic clear, all right? And logic's a little overrated. What it means in this case is, are you focused? Do you stick to a point? And do your points unfold in sort of a natural fashion? Or are you just scattered all over the place? Don't do that. Stay focused, drill down. Okay, and then pathos, a lot of that involves good details, good examples. Depends on the genre, depends on the purpose. When Martin Luther King speaks, his famous speeches during the civil rights eras, he used a lot of pathos. He used a lot of emotions. He asked the audience to imagine certain things. Okay, not all writing takes that, but that is an element of writing. Okay, so continue. Ethos is appeals to credibility. These things count as ethos. It's your person's position, education, knowledge, background, experience. And I know it's popular in some circles to say, well, we don't need to talk to experts. That's a little silly. Okay, are you gonna go to a plumber to get your brain operated on? I don't think so. Right? And you're not going to use a brain surgeon to fix your plumbing in your kitchen either. Okay, you need experts. All right. And how does one present themselves? Here I am, middle of COVID-19. I'm teaching from home, although I always teach from home. I put on a nice shirt this morning. I generally wear a shirt from Malaysia. Okay, I generally wear just t-shirts all day long, sweatpants, but I dress up for these presentations. Okay, in the winter I'll actually wear dress shirts. I have a lot of nice long sleeve dress shirts. And then how about Credibility means that you're able to provide good research, that you're able to support your points with authentic resources, all right, with experts in this case, okay? And I'll get into that more as the class unfolds. We're going to use published authors for our research, okay? Real people that have good credentials, and that's near the end of the class. And then we're going to make sure that all our presentations are professional looking, that our information is professional, that kind of thing. And then we're going to do, I don't teach grammar, I don't grade on grammar, but we're going to make sure all our papers are spell checked and look for typographical errors. And I'm really guilty of that myself, okay? I have to be really careful, all right? Pathos, so that's appealing to emotions and values. Things that evoke pathos is discussing health, family values, etc. Particularly in this paper, you're going to discuss yourself. You can discuss your family values, all right? I want you to talk about yourself. I don't want to do a memoir. I want it to be very focused. Where are you at this moment in your life, and why are you at that point? How did that work, okay? You can use emotions like anger. You can talk about that. English classes are always very frank. They're very honest. I've taught English for 20 years now at the college level, and I've seen all kinds of papers, okay? Everything from spouse abuse, child abuse, students being abused as child sexual abuse, to breast enhancement surgery, all kinds of stuff, all right? Coming out of the closet, all kinds of stuff. And I've never once had one student criticize another student over any of these issues, all right? So you can use real emotions like anger, joy, fear, and sadness, okay? And then using language that evokes emotion. Think about the commercials for animals in cages. Think about PETA commercials, that kind of thing. Using pathos evokes emotions, but don't do it cheaply, okay? Do it only if it's real, all right? Stay authentic. Okay, getting right here to the end. So logos means appeals to logic, but logic doesn't mean arguing using different kinds of strategies that might not be honest, all right? That's anti-logical, okay? Those are called logical fallacies. Instead, your logic needs to possess a clear structure. It needs to possess a clear flow. Your argument needs warrants and claims, okay? Warrants and claims are the combination of research and the position you take from the research, all right? So you're not just throwing out things, well, I don't believe in global warming because it snowed today. That's not logical, okay? All right, so you're using facts and figures to make a point, all right? And then you think about how other people use these facts and figures to prove a point. So, and then here's a slide, and you can look at these slides yourself. They're included in the Moodle. All right. So let me go to the description of the essay that's due. All right. Okay, trying online. This is called a rhetorical situation of self paper. And for this assignment, you're going to compose an essay about your current rhetorical situation. And this is why you need to read the textbook. Pages 1 to 52 in the textbook, and there's an example on page 46. And I think there's a more polished example a little bit later, like maybe page 45 or 54, excuse me. I'm using the online textbook. All right, it's a little more difficult to reference the pages, but make sure you read the first part of the textbook up through about page 60, I think, a little bit, maybe 54, and make sure you understand what's going on there, okay? The textbook's very well laid out. It's very simple. It doesn't take you a long time, all right? So I want you to think about an immediate issue in your life, whether it need to be writing this paper, all right? Being a student in general, being a student at the time of COVID-19, what's it like in your dorm, all right, or some other issue you're facing. Think about your audience, think about the constraints you might feel, okay, and then this paper is an opportunity for you to reflect upon your own rhetorical situation in space. So this is kind of a description paper, it's kind of a reflection paper. You may use I, no research is required. We keep talking about APA style. APA style, I'm only referencing the in-text citations and the reference list at the end, okay? And I'll get on that a little bit more later in the class, okay? In this case, you don't need any research, so that's not anything you really need to worry about. Paper can be informal. Should be 3 to 4 pages in length. And when I say 3 to 4 pages, I do not mean 2.5 pages, okay? Don't do that. I'll really count off heavily. And I like long papers, okay? If I say 4 pages and you write 6, wow, I really like that, okay? But you don't have to, okay? If you write 4 quality pages, 4 full pages with lots of detail, descriptions and specifics, if your paragraphs are well-focused, okay, you'll get an A, all right? So this is a chance for you to reflect and explore how your own rhetorical situation affects your daily ways of existing. it's important to remember not overthink it, okay? And pick your issue before we dive into the audience and the different constraints. Use the text and other resources from this week to help guide your writing process. And I already wrote this down here. I will be looking for well-focused paragraphs with plenty of detail and examples. And I like to consider that they're really only about 3 paragraphs per page, okay? And the reason that is readers like paragraphs. We're trained after years of reading newspapers, reading textbooks, reading storybooks, to think of a paragraph more or less as one unit of thought. And then we can rest for a second at the end of that paragraph and think about what the writer just said, okay? Those little indentation points, okay, those little white spaces where the paragraphs indented, those are resting spots. That's what they are. They allow your eye to rest for a minute, and then subconsciously you get to think about what was just said. So a paragraph needs to be well focused, but it needs to be developed. It needs to have enough specifics, enough examples, so that it actually says something. So that's why I say about 3 paragraphs per page. If you have a page that's all one paragraph, I guarantee you that page has multiple points in it, and they're hard to follow because you don't have those resting places. Okay, so last but not least, let me show you the example that I found. See if I can tell you what page it's on. Excuse me. Okay, this is page 54, all right? And this is just the beginning of the paper, all right? And this is how I like to see the paper set up. This is how it's done in college. Your name, my name, the name of the class, and the date, okay? And then there should be a page number over here. Do not put this in the header. Microsoft Word, don't put that in the header. Just put it at the top left-hand corner of the very first page. Up here, put the page number up in the header, and then that'll show up on every page. Okay, so, America, I have a confession to make. I don't drink Coke. But don't call me a hypocrite, because I'm still the proud owner of a bright red shirt that advertises. Just call me an American. Okay, this is a rhetorical analysis of self. This is a student. She traveled to Israel, right? Is she? Yeah, Emily. And she traveled to Israel, and she bought herself a Coke t-shirt. So she explains the setting that she's in. She explains why she bought the Coke t-shirt. She doesn't drink Coke. Okay, she explains why she doesn't drink Coke. She describes it in detail, but it puts her in a specific situation. Okay, so take a look at this and just see how it unfolds. And once again, I'm not grading on how exactly you do the assignment. I'm grading on your focus. All right, I'm grading on your paragraphs, I'm grading on your clarity, okay, and I'm grading on did you use details, did you use specific examples from your life to explain where you are, okay. So, for example, I have a student who's already sent me her paper, wanting to know some help in what I thought, and so she sent me a paper that so far is containing a lot of well-written information about her very large family. Okay, so she said, how many? I said, you're doing great. I said, but what you need now to do is explain how this large family, and just in this case, all right, I was just helping her with an idea to expand the paper and get it to be more specific and get it to be more of a rhetorical situation itself. Explain at this point how this very, very large family impacts your writing, all right, impacts your education. And that's just an example. You could talk about how your rhetorical situation itself impacts your feelings, impacts your ability to do things, impacts what you like, okay? But explain where you are and how it impacts you, how it affects you, okay? So I think I've been rambling on long enough. As always, let me know if you have questions. If you want to meet together in Zoom or Google Meet, we can meet individually. Just send me an email so we can set up a time and we can discuss topics and everything a bit more. And once again, if you can't meet the Wednesday night deadline, please try as hard as you can. Don't panic. If you get it done by Friday night, there won't be any late penalties. Be sure to get all the reviews done that are required, all right? And then be sure to turn it into me revised by Sunday. Okay? Good luck.